So I'm really grateful to be here on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh Nations, and gathering with all of you, especially the family of Jardin, and remembering Soli and his family, and just want to and support the family and the community as in their fight against the province of Ontario. And I acknowledge with shame that Soli was killed on traditional and treated but not unceded territories of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Chippewa, and Haudenosaunee. As a member of Joint Effort, a collective of women in prison and women from the outside community who come together for workshops of mutual interest, I can speak to the importance of prison abolition in the discussion of this atrocity and in the solutions we are seeking as a community to the problems of incarceration, abuse, and murder of people with mental health disabilities, and all marginalized and criminalized by the colonialist, capitalist, and xenophobic state in Canada and its institutions. I'm particularly grateful to be here because I know that we all have different pieces of the solution to these harms against Soli and his family and against others in our community, and that it is so important that we put these pieces together. The state, the media, and the law will say that these are separate issues, but they are pieces to self-determination. They are all pieces to self-determination and freedom. We cannot protect water and tell the police to arrest the real criminals, marginalized, racialized, poor, and Indigenous people. We cannot stand for prison rights and ignore ever more far-reaching immigration detention frameworks that lock up political and economic refugees, children, elders, and parents. We cannot decry the mistreatment of persons with mental disabilities in jails, lockups, and prison, and be silent about how the antiquated and solely punishing punitive system of the state, which they call justice and correction, how maddening and torturous that is to all who are trapped in its clutches. So Joint Effort has tried to break the isolation by bringing the community inside and the community outside prisons together for over 40 years. Members inside talk about how essential it is to connect with community and family if they can for sanity and well-being, and even just to know what is happening behind the walls and their own treatment. People become quickly institutionalized by. We in the community need to connect with we need connection with our people, our family members, our teachers and elders, our young people, our students, the people who will teach us about what is really happening in prison. Institutionalization can be a coping strategy, and yet people die in Canadian prisons because the treatment and isolation violate international law and everything we know about deprivation of basic needs, including human contact, medications and medical treatment, displacement, health conditions such as lice and fungus epidemics, liberty and choice and visions. In my experience, the greatest understanding, the people with the greatest understanding of what is so terribly wrong with our system are the people who have been incarcerated by it. When they have the voice and the power to determine with community how needs are met, we all benefit. Simple reforms will always be co-opted to make the carceral system stronger so that the rich and those who work for them can feel better about what they do and continue to get richer. It has never been Joint Effort's stand that we need better prisons and lockups with staff who have improved training to deal with mental illness, but that we need to connect people to the community and find community solutions with folks who are marginalized, folks who know what's in their best interests, including compassionate care in a circle of support with family if possible. I hope we can continue to talk, to listen to other pieces of the solution, and take back the power that has been taken from Indigenous nations and law knowledge sharers, community structures of support, education, and housing. Compassionate care Healthcare with self-determination as its primary principle, and abolish systems that keep people in fear. Nothing will end the anguish and anger of Soli's family, but together we can disempower the institutions and systems that imprison us.